Hey, Brock.
Yo.
Do you know what today is?
It's Wednesday or Wednesday.
It is Wednesday, but this is the last Wednesday, presumably, we will have. This is our last episode of the Rebel Scum podcast that we will have before seeing the trailer for The Last Jedi.
What?
Presumably. Everything is pointing towards October 9th, Monday, Thanksgiving Day here in Canada.
Columbus Day in the States.
Is it?
I think
is that
that's
still a thing?
Happening.
And Monday Night Football, rumors having that it's going to be at the halftime show so they can get more time to play the 2-hour-long trailer.
Interesting.
Right? So next week we could have a show where we're talking about something substantial.
Wow.
But today we're going to talk about fluff. Hi guys, I'm James Rosile. This is
Brock Smink.
And welcome to the 62nd. I'm jumping ahead.
Wow.
I'm not looking forward to Order 66 at all. To the 62nd episode of the Rebel Scum podcast. Thanks a lot, guys. And remember, if you like the video, hit the thumbs up. Subscribe, because those things help us out. We can get more pops for the...
Yeah, more pops.
Brock needs more
collectible toys.
But it helps us out a great deal. And thank you all for that. Do that anyway in the comments. Brock, the other thing I wanted to ask you was, yesterday, 2 nights ago, Andrew Fantasia, our somewhat friend, sent a text message to me, and he said, what if the Kanan, Ezra, and Ahsoka become the father, son, and daughter from Mortis in the Mortis arc from the Clone Wars?
Okay.
And so we did a video on it yesterday.
Yeah.
And the response has been actually fairly positive.
Yeah.
And the idea is that is a way for them to basically get rid of those three characters without having to do anything. It's almost like cop-out in a lot of ways, but it's an answer that they have that they can easily tap into if they wanted to.
Why, though? Besides what you just said.
There always needs to be balance in the Force, and so that needs to be around. Look, I'm just saying.
I think that's a stretch. Just like you said, it's a cop-out, and it just... I don't hate that idea, though. Like, there was lots of mention of Mortis in our rundown, and like what the episode you did with Andrew. I'm like, what is Mortis again? I had to look it up. So that is my key thing of I know I should be a Star Wars fan, but I can't remember everything.
No, Mortis
30 years old.
Even Mortis is out there.
Once I knew what it was, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that episode. I like that. But
here's the thing though, is Mortis I think is something that's gonna live in books and whatever, but in the cartoon universe, it's never gonna. I don't think it's ever gonna make it into film. And we were looking at the episode outlines, and only the first 9 are outlined.
Right.
And after that, at least 7 episodes where we don't know what happens.
Yeah.
So they could spend a great deal talking about that, and that could be the farewell for those, the 2 of them and then Ahsoka, obviously. But it was just an idea that Andrew brought to me that I thought that intrigued me enough.
So Ahsoka, Kanan, and Ezra.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you said Hera, Ahsoka, or Hera, Kanan.
No, because we were talking about how Kanan's the father, Ahsoka the daughter. But what if Ahsoka was the father, and that father was mother?
Yeah, because
yeah, that would make sense to me.
I'm all for creating storylines where Ahsoka comes back in some form. I'm also very interested in exploring more Jedi stuff with Kanan and Ezra, which I feel like the series has been kind of lacking in. I mean, in its defense, it's called Rebels, not Let's Be Jedis. So, and you think they would do more because they're kind of covering characters that don't really have to do with anything else besides the show. I mean, in a sense, they do intertwine, but but to answer your initial question, I'd be cool to have another episode explore Mortis. I don't really see the point of that theory. Like you said, it's a theory. Would it be fun? Sure, but how do you get there? And it just seems convoluted. And like you said, it's a huge cop-out. So that's basically the
But it's a cop-out that they pretty much... It's a cop-out that they kind of have in their... Like that they could do and it could be satisfactory.
Yeah, because they've done a lot of the stuff with like the Bindu stuff. So it's like the concept of like mysticism in the show is not unheard of, and kids will accept anything you give us, and then us will be like, oh yes, this is the thing from the thing. So yeah,
they don't even have to really say we're going to Mortis. They can be like, the Force is calling for us. We have a duty to oblige to the Force. We have to follow Ahsoka, and it could be like Ghost Form Ahsoka or whatever.
Yeah,
and they follow Ahsoka, and that's kind of their ending.
Right.
And then you don't have to mention Mortis or anything. And you find out later,
in the episode of Mortis in Clone Wars, it was just Obi Wan and Anakin, right? Ahsoka. Was she there too?
Yeah, and Andrew reminded me. Ahsoka gets killed and then comes back to life because the daughter.
That's right. Oh yeah.
So she has a connection to Mortis.
Okay. I don't know. Because wasn't the whole point of Anakin going there to reestablish balance to the Force by inevitably killing all of them, or like leading them to their own death or whatever?
Something like that.
I gotta rewatch that episode. I did recently watch it because I was like, wait a second. But yeah, no, I don't know. But again, like I said, put it in there. It's cool. It's a cool concept, and it's something you can explore only in cartoons and books, and I guess comics as well, but like, you know what I mean, like, so I'm all for it, but if that's the end of what happens to some of our characters, that's a huge cop-out. I mean, come on, like, you don't want them to be killed off simply, but like, at the same note, they don't appear anywhere else. But I mean, the real question is, if Rebels ends and then we never see Ezra and Kanan and Hera again, is that really a terrible thing? With
Kanan and less so Ezra, I would say so, because he's a Jedi running around the galaxy.
I guess.
But you can't, like, you need an answer to that question. Hera doesn't matter. She's a rebel. She'll just fade in with everybody else. But Kanan is a Jedi. And once you've made him a Jedi, you've pretty much cemented his fate. He needs an out, and you need a way for him to not exist when Luke Skywalker learns about the Force.
I don't disagree with you, but at the same note, like, they constantly find new ways to incorporate a Jedi.
Yeah.
I mean, and it doesn't... I guess Yoda's really the only one that, like, survives to an extent, like, throughout up until Empire Strikes Back, or Return of the Jedi. You know what I mean? Like, it's like no one... They've never tackled the idea of, like, oh, let's go find Yoda, or Vader tried to find Yoda, or something like that. Yeah, you would know who he's... Because, like, the Jedi they put in Darth Vader, that doesn't really help my argument, because he basically gets killed for this whole point of the story. But at the same note, it's like, he's a Jedi that nobody knew who he was. And it was because Vader's sort of smart and clever. But, like... That just says to me that as much as there's always someone that can wield the Force, they can hide pretty well. It's not like... It's kind of like Cerebro and X-Men, but kind of not. Like, it's not like the Sith can sit somewhere and be like, let us find the Jedi. It's like they have to actually be in a vicinity to them or know of them, so... And, there are often... moments in expanded universe in the Legends where they did the exact same thing. Where it's like, oh, here we go. Here's a Jedi you can fight.
Yeah, but that's out of necessity.
No, I know. But so is this in a sense. Like,
yeah, but you could also argue that you didn't need either one of them to be Jedi or Force sensitive for this story necessarily. But I mean, that's a huge chunk of it later on. But in the first season, when Yoda says you are the last Jedi to Luke, he's got to be the last Jedi. That's where they have to figure it out. So look, if you want to keep them alive, you've got to figure. Then whatever happens next, you got to tell me what's going to happen to them. Like that's the only thing we need to know. Every other character can live on and fight another day. Yeah. But those guys, we need to know why. Either they say they're no longer a Jedi, or they die, or they go to Mortis, or they die. Or they go to the unknown region. Like, if they go to the unknown regions, I'm fine with that also.
Yeah, okay.
Because then you get them out of the universe. Like, as long as they're out of that universe, the galaxy, I'm okay with whatever you got going
The bummer part is, it's going to be over before No, the next Last Jedi will be out midway through the season. Correct?
Yeah, so the last episode of Rebels for the season is November 19th, I want to say.
Really?
Yeah, and then it returns on the 18th.
Oh, yeah, that's what I thought.
2018, but they don't have a date yet for when it goes back.
So, like, again, it's like, we're not going to get anything cool because they won't try anything new because the movie's not out yet. So, it's a bummer. I don't want to harp on the show. It's good. It's a good series, regardless of if it includes stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I don't. It's just, you really don't know what to expect anymore. So we clearly going to see a lot of Mandalorian stuff. We're going to see Fallout or some kind of conclusion with Lothal, and then somehow all connects to Rogue One in some way. Yeah, I don't know what to expect with this season. Maybe that's a good thing.
Dave Filoni talked about two tubes. You know, I love two tubes. Yeah. And he said, it's fun with these characters that look awesome, like Plo Koon. You know, Plo Koon just sits around. He's like, it's fun to take them out of the chair and do stuff. Yeah. So I'm really excited to see where they go with two tubes this season. But did you hear what else he said? No Emperor Palpatine.
Oh, yes,
there will be no Emperor. Have you seen it's a meme? Calling back 2 episodes ago, the meme of it's for a fragrance, a cologne, and it's Imperium by Sheev.
I don't think I've seen that.
It's really good. It's not that good, but the idea made me laugh.
Yeah.
It's called Imperium, but like by Sheev or something.
It's like the Maybelline one where it's just Chewbacca and a cloud of hair.
I love that. But yeah, no Sheev in season 4 of Rebels. Surprised?
No, because we haven't really seen him at all. And I know he was present quite a bit in Clone Wars, but that's like, I think you can't leave him out of Clone Wars because he's 2 different characters in that. Mm-hmm. It sucks. But I've said before, the Emperor's not really my favorite character. I feel like
you and Andrew need to fight.
Yeah, sorry, it was a character George Lucas thought up at the last minute, I felt. And then, now it's bigger because of the prequels. But I don't know. Because I feel like Rebels is how they get to be the Rebel Alliance that we see in New Hope. So they are small. So for them to appear on the Emperor's radar...
Yeah.
I really in a sense, Luke Skywalker is what really brings in the Emperor because, like, oh, this is something I actually have to deal with. This isn't just some renegades blowing up my spaceships. So, I'm okay with that, I suppose. Yeah,
I'm with you. I like the Emperor. He's not my favorite. He's not my least favorite. He's just kind of around. You know, I appreciate more in the prequels because of his story, like how he got devoured and how he played everybody. Yeah. But yeah, at the end of the day, he's a villain, and you've got Tarkin, Thrawn, Vader to a certain extent.
Yeah.
How much more do you need?
Exactly.
Like, Vader goes there because the Emperor tells him to go there. So we know 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon that's why that the Emperor exists. So I'm with you. I don't think we need the Emperor in this season. I don't know what he would have added to it necessarily. Right. We hear Stardust mentioned by Tarkin, so we have Tarkin calling shots, Thrawn calling, like everyone, everyone's calling these shots. It would just seem too much.
And like I feel like they'll do something to conclude the story of Governor Pierce in some way. And then we got Thrawn's sidekick Rook, or assassin Rook, coming up. So it's like, we already got a ton of characters. Do we really need more? Like,
yeah, to what purpose do they serve? Because Thrawn and Tarkin, they're all serving the Emperor. We don't need to, we know what's coming down from them is stop the rebels.
Yeah.
What else are you going to say? Make sure you stop them. Yeah. Something. Dark side. I don't know what my impression just was. I thought it was great though.
It was fantastic.
So no Palps in season 4 of Rebels. Yeah, I'm totally fine with that.
Don't forget, we're getting another cartoon. So
it's called Sheev.
And it's called Suddenly Sheevy.
Groovin' with Sheev. Hanging out with Mr. Sheev.
Oh my goodness.
Hanging out. Oh my god, I would totally watch that. The Fresh Prince
Sheev by Sheev, but like step by step.
The Fresh Prince of Coruscant.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're talking about Dex. Can I do a segment I like to call Frig Off?
Frig Off. Is that why you said that on the rundown?
Well, this is dumb. So on Nerdist, love Nerdist, but sometimes, like, just you want me to click on your article. You succeeded here, jerks. People are still speculating that Luke Skywalker is the big bad of the new trilogy. I want to rewind the tape a little bit before we
don't record on a tape.
Right. What?
What is?
But I brought my Walkman. It's this big. Actually, it's the size of this. Anyway, a couple of years ago, a year before Force Awakens, sometime when they were shooting the Force Awakens, a friend of mine, Sheldon Norton, who did the documentary When the Galaxy Listens, we'll have him on the show soon.
Yay!
He was like, oh my god, he's a huge Star Wars fan, one of the biggest ones I've ever met. The first time I knew him, he had a Stormtrooper bobblehead in his car, and this is like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like Star Wars was cool, like, you know. But anyway, and he goes, James, oh my god. He's like, I'm like, what? He goes, Luke Skywalker's the bad guy. And I go, what? He goes, this is the rumor. I'm like, Sheldon, stop. He can't be the bad guy. You're a filmmaker. He goes, yeah. I'm like, you ruin 3 movies if you make him the bad guy. He goes,
yeah.
You're right. But what if they do it? I'm like, well, if they do it, they've ruined Star Wars. Like, you've ruined it because he cannot be the big bad because the whole idea is that he defeats the dark side within him. Like, that's what those movies are about.
Yeah. It's like when I used to bring up, I was like, well, he can't be Rey's father because if he just left her on a planet, then he's just become his own father, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, people got mad about that. But, like...
See, to that point, though, I would argue that they could get away with that easier than making him the bad guy.
True, I get that, but again, it's the same symptoms of you built up this character for 40 years and now you're just like, no, we're gonna do it different. I just can't. I agree. I can't see it. I don't, because I think the article you sent me is like, well, he's like, it's like the Wizard of Oz and it's just an illusion and he's not that. I'm like, that I don't mind, but again, yeah, like it's. You can't throw...
They've already screwed him up with his Jedi Academy.
Yeah.
They've already... Like, because his training already from what he would have learned those 3 previous movies is that would never have come to fruition anyway because he would have known not to go down that path. Like, they've already, like, made that mistake. And that's a minor mistake and I'm not... You know, I'm fine. Like, whatever. It's not, like, a make or break thing. But if you go a step further, like, by the way, also, he's crazy and he's the bad guy. Because they're really hanging on. It's time for the Jedi to end. No, stop taking that as he's going to kill everybody. Yeah. And the other thing is, somebody brought up, what if that's just half of his sentence? It's like, it's time for the Jedi to end hunger. But, like, what if it's time for the Jedi to end what? And now, I think that's the end of his sentence, but I think it's because he's learned more about the Jedi. He's basically learned about the Jedi in the last 30 years. What really the filmmaker should have known was he learned in the first 3 films. Yeah. And that's the Jedi way was wrong. Yeah. And that's how he defeats Vader is by using what the Jedi stopped believing in, the love and acceptance. Yeah, and that is really what's strong. Anyway, that's frig off.
It's, I mean, it could easily be like something happened, and that's what we're gonna spend most of the movie finding out about, and he's been completely disillusioned. That's a simplistic storyline that is new because it's like it's still doing the same effect where it's like, here's this farm boy, and he has this family history he knew nothing about, and he has these powers. And now he's pulled from his planet, and he has to go join this band of rebels and somehow save the day. And he's constantly trying to figure out how to become the best person he can, but people are holding him back, or he's just not given enough knowledge. In that vein, and then he's victorious at the end, but like in that vein where it's just like, I'm flying by the seat of my pants. At some point, you're going to hit a wall because you have no one to, like, there's no checks and balances yet. But, like, as we've learned with the prequels, it's like you can't just do whatever you want with the Force. So maybe he's learning, he goes out and tries to find something, or he makes a mistake. And now his first mistake is so cataclysmic that it has shocked his whole personality. So it's very easy. He can still be a good character, but, like, I'm done. I tried my best, and this is what I can't fix what's been done.
That's where I think he's going to be. Yeah. To make him the villain is just like, what the... Like, it's lazy also. I think that's as lazy as mind wipes.
It grounds him in humanity where you're like, okay, like, he tried his best. And like, oh, man, he was so high at Return of the Jedi, and now you come back, and he's just some old dude on an island with puffins.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. So,
story-wise.
Yeah. So, like, I don't understand why there needs to be any other, like... Again, I think we fall into the trap where it's like, oh, there has to be some crazy twist where it's like, Vader is your father. And, like, there's no twist in Force Awakens, kind of, because it's just like, Kylo is Ben Solo. Okay, cool. Like, it's like, she's my son. It's like, well, it's like, they've taken our son. It's like, oh, that's crazy. I want to know what happened. Why don't they, I want to know what happened to the Solos to get to where they are, not why they are the way they are, like, or what, like, oh, let's Ben Solo. Like, no, it's like, let's find out that stuff. Let's find out the past. I think that's what we're waiting for, but it's just like, it doesn't have to be a twist. Like, we could just have this movie, that could be it. Snoke can be Snoke, and we get Ewoks. I don't know.
I would like Ewoks to return. One way or another. No, I'm with you on that one. I think that's a great way to get Luke in there. And look, The Last Jedi. Are people going to be disappointed if there's no twist in The Last Jedi? Does it have to have a twist because of Empire Strikes Back?
I want to say no, they won't be disappointed. I don't think anyone sits there and that's a prerequisite of the movie. It's just like, we just want to see lightsaber fights. We want to see Millennium Falcon take off. We want to hear Chewie go, and just see cool visuals. That's at the end of the day, I believe, is what it is. If I think it's right. Like, I don't, it's like if you go to an M. Night Shyamalan, which few people go to now these days. Well, Split brought him back. But, like, that's the typical with him. It's like, oh, something crazy has to happen. It's like, no. Like, it doesn't have to always happen.
Well, his downfall was he fell into his own trap.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, Signs was great, and then he had to have that bad ending. I honestly think this one's going to start with the I am your father moment. Whatever that moment is, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But whatever the Last Jedi equivalent, which could be, as big as I am your father or as small as I like peanut butter on toast. Like, one or the other, whatever that moment is going to happen early on, I think. And I still think we're getting Reverse Empire. Like, we're going to start here and we're going to end at Hoth. We're going to start, so just after they get separated. So let's say The Last Jedi ends at the very, very beginning of the very, very end of Empire Strikes Back.
Right.
And this is going to be that. That is how I see it playing out. I'm hoping it's even less following Empire Strikes Back than that, but I think that's how it has to play out anyway.
Right.
That's what I feel.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think people need to remember that this is being written by Rian Johnson. Not that Rian Johnson is some prolific writer, but he has the ability to make a really compelling story. If you didn't like Looper, you didn't like Looper. But like, if you look at the mechanics of a movie like Looper or Brick, and you're like, that's a pretty crazy story when you follow all. So like,
my fear with Rian Johnson right now is like, you like Looper, I like Looper, we like Brick, we like the films of his that we've seen. But there's a lot of people out there that don't know his work.
Sure.
That are way too high on him. Who, like, and I say that not really so much because of this Last Jedi, but because of they're like, why isn't he doing Episode 9? How many films have you seen? None.
You haven't even seen a Star Wars film.
Yeah, like, did you know that he did Breaking Bad? No, he's so talented. Because you've heard people with way more viewers than us talk about how talented he is on YouTube and other podcasts and whatnot. Yeah. Like, we don't know what The Last Jedi is. I'm trusting it's going to be really good. I trusted that with The Force Awakens. I trusted that with Rogue One. I'm going to trust that with Han Solo. I'm going to trust it with Obi Wan Kenobi, which we'll talk about in a second. I'm going to trust it. But my fear is people are building him up so high that right now this film might not live up to whatever you are expecting The Last Jedi to be. I am expecting a one lightsaber fight. So if I get 2, I'm in.
Yeah.
Porgs.
Yeah.
2 tubes. Ben Quadinaros. no, I'm expecting a lightsaber fight.
Yeah.
Kylo. Something cool with Kylo.
Yeah.
I don't know what, and I don't really care.
Yeah.
Snoke in the flesh.
Yeah.
And R2. I love R2. I just think of R2. Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah.
And more BB-8 going wow.
Yeah.
And I'm good. Like, at that point, I'm good. just don't bomb out. Like don't make it a crappy. Like,
I mean, a lot of people talked about last week's episode how it's going to be 2.5 hours, and that they're okay with that. And I agree. Like, these are the movies that you're okay with it being that long, and we got a lot of things to catch up on. And like, what is this? What is that? What is that? And then the current ongoing story. So
as long as it doesn't feel bloated.
True, but like you can it's.
I don't think it will. I'm not saying I think it will. It's just there are some movies that are 2.5 hours long that could have been 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen them. I don't know if this will, because like we said last week, this is the new fantasy. This is like Lord of the Rings needed to be 3.5 hours. This one probably needs to be 2.5 hours. Yeah. And that's the way it's going to be. It might hinder how many times we go see it in the theater, because we're like, well, it's 7 now. That means I'm going to get out of the theater at 10. And that means, that's what changes all of a sudden. Yeah. It's like, I can't remember what movie I was going to go see with Aaron like a few months ago. Mm-hmm. And we're like, what time is it? It's 8. Oh, the movie's 3 hours. It was like a 3 hour. I can't remember what movie. What movie was really long recently?
But we saw that together. Was
it long? That movie flew by.
Like 2 hours.
But yeah, there was a movie, and it was just like, you know what? The time's not right. It was like 2 hours. That was short. It was like an hour.
Yeah, it was short.
But there was something anyway. We couldn't go see it because it was so long. We would get out at like 1 in the morning, and we're old, and we're like, we don't. Well, I am old. She's very young. We were like I don't like. Right now, like when I was younger, 20 years old, 25, 18, I would be midnight, 3-hour movie. Let's go. Yeah, exactly. Now at like 10:45.
Yeah. I mean, that's why they start the midnight specials at 7:00 now. Yeah. I don't know. Like,
all right. Well,
We need another trailer, I think.
Monday, maybe. We don't know. We'll do that and never tell the odds. All right. Let's move on to our next topic. This is one that I've wanted to do for a long time. Andrew Fantasia wanted to do this one with us, but we cannot get a hold of him right now. So, Andrew, you're out of luck on this one.
Suck it.
Look, this one is one that I kind of thought would be fun. I thought of this a little while ago, like a month ago, and we just haven't had time to do it. So I'm like, well, Brock, let's do it this week.
Okay.
I think it would be a lot of fun if Padme Amidala appeared in the Obi Wan film.
Okay.
Hear me out. We all know that the original draft had Padme surviving Revenge of the Sith. And she didn't survive. She still died, but she kind of started the rebellion.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are disappointed with Amidala.
Right.
Andrew Fantasia had her as his most useless character of Star Wars. Right? I like Padme. I think you like Padme. Yeah. She's great in the cartoons, Force of Destiny. But I was thinking, what if they retcon that a bit? She fakes her death. That's all fake. And she's in the shadows creating this rebellion to take down the Empire.
Yeah, I mean, if you can figure out a way to bring her back.
Yeah, that's not in my hands. That's in somebody else's.
Yeah. But it would be amazing if they did it. And then they somehow have her meet up with Leia, young Leia. Therefore...
Yeah.
Undoing that loophole or that plot hole of like she remembers her mother, but like she died after childbirth.
The only thing that would suck would be that she would, because of that moment, because Leia would only like remember, you would have to kill her off somehow.
Yeah.
And that would be the cheap part is, okay, you've brought her back from the dead just to kill her off again. So that for me is a trouble market. But I really think it would be a cool, unique twist on the story to take her, and this is a retcon I could get behind, because now you're taking this character that a lot of people don't appreciate from the prequel trilogies, and she doesn't really live up to what we all thought she would live up to, and now you take her and you put her in this direction where she is the reason Luke gets to fly that X-wing. She's the reason Leia is a Bail Organa, like is so tight in the rebellion. Like she's this bridge to all of to all of this, and that would just really bring, I think, the prequel trilogy, the original trilogy, and the sequel trilogy, and the spin-offs all together in this one nice little basket, without making the universe feel petite.
Yeah.
It will never happen.
Never happen. One, Natalie Portman will never act in a Star Wars film.
But if they gave her a meaty role and $1 billion,
and not George Lucas.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, think of,
yeah, it'd be kind of cool. I think a character like that you can explore in an Obi Wan film without like, it makes sense for her to be there. in anything else. So, yeah. So she's sort of like the puppet master of everything, sort of behind, at least the Rebel Alliance sort of thing.
Yeah, like she would be like there somehow.
But I almost think, and I know it doesn't really, from what you said, but like as you were talking, it's like, well, like just make it an Ahsoka character in a sense where you kind of have.
But audiences know.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess.
It would strengthen her character to a point where you would see her in the prequels under a new light, kind of like what the Clone Wars did for Anakin.
It's because it's like, what do you do in an Obi Wan film besides have him sit on a sand dune? So it's not bad. I feel like the initial response to an Obi Wan film is like, let's just throw Clone Wars characters in there. Not like it's like we're going past the movies and it's like the TV show, bring this. Bloop, 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 bloop. All those things are in the movie as well, but like they're more prevalent and they're more interesting in Clone Wars.
Let's just say you're watching this Obi Wan film and Obi Wan's like, oh, marshmallows, and then all of a sudden somehow he gets hailed by someone. Yeah. And we're all like, oh, Bail Organa is hailing him.
Yeah.
So he gets on this ship. And he goes to Joel Edgerton, who's back as Uncle. He's got to be in it. He's such a great actor. And then he's like, look after the boy. Got to go for a bit. And he flies up, and he goes. And Bail Organa's like, hey, good to see you, buddy. Blah, blah, blah. She's right over there. And we're all like, who's right over there? And he walks in, and there's Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
And then, like, but they don't market her in it at all.
No, of course not. You kind of can't.
Yeah. And all of a sudden we were like after I fake my death on Naboo. Some of it's cheesy. But there is a way to do it. I just think it would be a cool way.
Why did you think I was dead? She said I died of a broken heart.
No, really? but Obi-Wan would know, Bail would know, Yoda would know.
Yeah.
And that would be like it. You know what I mean? Like Mon Mothma would have no idea. You know what I mean? Like she would just kind of be there. Maybe she's really, really sick. Like Mon Mothma is in the new canon.
I guess the beauty of this film is that like you can put all these old characters from the prequels into this movie because they're all still around. They're all roughly the proper age now. Yeah, I'd be into that. That'd be so left field, but sure.
That's what makes Star Wars great.
It is. I think they need to play some crazy cards because the fans are like, we're told they were going to get craziness, so that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Expect the unexpected. Big Brother. Boom.
What?
That's what they say on the
1984?
show. No. Big Brother and CBS.
I know Big Brother from the book 1984.
Ah, that's congratulations.
I read that in Animal Farm. Those are the only two books I've ever read.
Yeah.
True story. I just realized I have our top fives coming up, and I don't even know what they are. I'm gonna have to do something. All right, let's move on to
Never Tell Me the Schmods.
Never Tell Me the Odds.
What are the odds today?
Today's odds are, the first one we've talked about briefly is the odds of Mortis appearing on Rebels.
I'm gonna go 30% because I think it'd be cool, but I don't know how they would get there.
I'm just gonna take a bold statement here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a bold statement.
All right.
0%.
Oh, what?
And I was like, and I was doing that video with Andrew yesterday. I'm like, I'm on board with this. Bring it.
Let's do it.
Not gonna happen. I just think it's not gonna happen. I just feel like that's not the route they're going with this.
Yeah.
100%.
I know.
So when we play this back, I say both percentages. The odds of Chewbacca eating a pork.
0%. Come on.
No, 100%. Are you nuts? He's eating a pork.
No way.
There's no way he's not eating a pork.
They have a book called Chewbacca and the Pork.
But he's gonna. Well, he might not swallow, but he's putting the pork in his mouth.
Oh, okay.
And then maybe spitting it. I'm
That's
telling
like
you right now.
Muppets sort of gag with the big Muppets.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm telling you, he's eating a pork at some point. There was like someone wrote something online. It was about how to cook a pork or something like that, and it was like Rian Johnson. And the odds of the Last Jedi trailer coming Monday, October 9th. 102%.
I'm going to go full Brock on this one. Who the F knows?
Wait, we might find out in our next segment.
Oh.
Do you know what our next segment is?
What's up, Star Wars?
What up, Star Wars?
What up, Star Wars?
We started the
What's
segment.
Up, Star Wars? I'm calling you today.
We started this segment because every time we did this show, something would break while we did it. Usually it was a director getting fired. So we are going to Google Star Wars now. And maybe the Star Wars show, which I believe was going on while we were recording this, will have dropped something. The Star Wars Battlefront 2 beta shows EA has made better choices this time. You can play this right now. Oh, Battlefront.
Yeah.
Disney and Lucasfilm debated on the Han Solo death in it. You can play Star Wars Battlefront. 40 new facts about A New Hope. Calamity Train open up. Save up to 77% on Disney games, including Star Wars on GOG. The Last Jedi's opening scene might have just been... the Last Jedi's opening scene may just have been revealed. Spoiler!
Spoilers!
The Dutch website, so you probably read this one. Jedi Bibliothek.
What?
Yeah. Wait. Via Making Star Wars. So it was Making Star Wars, or was it Jedi Bibliothek that had this? Anyway, they stumbled on a very interesting Star Wars arts crafts book that not only tells you how to create your own A-Wing model, but also features a lengthy description of Poe's death-defying save to help Resistance HQ on Dakar escape a swift First Order retaliation. No, I'm not making this up. The description is as follows. I can't read. After Poe Dameron's squadron destroyed Starkiller Base, the First Order sought out the Resistance headquarters on the planet Dakar to enact their revenge. A-Wings flew guard around the Resistance fleet and the transports fleeing the base when 3 First Order warships emerged from hyperspace to attack a squadron of A-Wings commanded by Tali Lintra, who's the new... they just announced that she's in it. She's from Rogue Nation.
Oh.
And she is like Finn's like right-hand man, like Finn's wedge, I guess.
Oh, okay. Finn's wedge?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I read Finn. Assisted Poe Dameron, so maybe also Poe's... I don't know. Look, Brock, there's so many things going on. And the Resistance assault bombers and taking on an enemy dreadnought. So that's that.
That's neat. When you said Poe's death-defying escape, I was like, for a second there, did you just say Poe's death? Like, if you had paused right at that moment, that'd been hilarious. What's up, Star Wars? What's up?
So nothing on the trailer has been announced. So, yeah. So there you go. That's all I can find here. And yeah, cool. I don't know if you've seen The Forces of Destiny, but Rey saves them. I haven't seen it yet, but Rey
They'll
saves
drop
them.
something as you're uploading. So.
Oh, 100%.
Hundo. This has been What's Up, Star Wars? What's up, Star Wars? I'm calling you tonight.
And the answer is nothing. Nothing is up with Star Wars. All right, let's move on to Brock's favorite section.
Books and or comics. Guess what? I have both.
Look, full page.
Down.
Here's a full screen. Why you go get that?
Has he always had glasses?
Yeah.
Today. Oh, we should shoot this like it's Reading Rainbow. Dude, take my word for it. Oh, we should just pre-shoot this. So, I'm going to start with books. Today, I want
to see this one.
I got 99 Stormtroopers Join the Empire, and I found it at the Chapters, which is Barnes & Noble's for Canadians. And it's just a fun, it's like almost like a bathroom book, but it's like one Stormtrooper takes his lunch break in the carbon freezing chamber. And it's just legit like Stormtroopers getting into bad situations. But it's cool. Like this one's he didn't notice the Star Destroyer was crashing. And then there's like, it's like across, there's like that's cool. Obviously this is a picture of Boss pushing a Stormtrooper off of Cloud City. So that sold me on it. But they have reference to Lothal. It's like every movie. Like there's 2K, K2SO. It's just a fun book, and they're always in trouble. And look, that weird Jedi guy.
That's his actual canon name. That weird
Jedi guy. Oh, here's a Chewbacca. Here's the Ewoks playing their helmets. It's just fun. It's almost it's childlike-esque, but it's really meant for people like us. I think there's mention of Lothal at one point. I can't remember what it is. At the very end, it's very funny though. Because the very last page is, and the last stormtrooper lived happily ever after. And then we turn the page on the Death Star. And then we turn the page. Hey, it's Luke and his friends. And we turn the page. The end.
How did you come across this book?
I just was out of chapters on Saturday and I was like, sold. It's very cool. It's by Greg Stones and this is awesome. Like, I've never seen this before.
Were you in the children's section?
No, this was just like, newer arrivals. It's made by, who prints this? What's the glasses one? I don't know. Chronicle Books. It's 99 Stormtroopers by Greg Stones. But don't take my word for it. Now, comics. The most interesting one was Captain Phasma, issue 2. And if you looked up Captain Phasma at all on the internet last week, you know that it was revealed that she would change her armor. You don't see her face. You see a silhouette of her taking the helmet off. Because they've landed on this planet while they're chasing this Imperial First Order officer that Phasma is going to pin the whole thing on. And they've landed. Now they're chasing him, and they found out he's going to the city. So to blend into the city, they're dressed up in just clothing they found. And the pilot that she's with is female, which is kind of cool. But it's like, what should I call you? You can't call me like TU2679. It's like, well, I'll be captain and you'll be pilot. Right, so they go into the city and they're all hidden, and I don't think much else happens besides that. Oh, right, they meet the people, and then it turns out that they landed on this planet like 200 years prior, and it was doing well. Then something happened, and sea creatures started taking over. So basically, we're gonna go fight sea creatures. I believe there is mention of Dianoga at one point. But that might have actually been Mace Windu. That would have been perfect. He was like, hey, this is where the trash compactor monsters come from. Speaking of which, Mace Windu.
Is that Kit Fisto?
Jedi of the Republic. It was interesting. They're fighting he meets, I believe the Jedi meet the assassin droid that's leading the separatist forces that are on this planet. And it's like, well, who hired you? It's like, well, that's the thing about robot armies. We make our own captains. So it's kind of cool. Not much happens. But I'm hoping more stuff happens later on. And then, last but not least, Star Wars Adventures 2 by IDW. So we continue the story of Rey saving Unkar Plot. So the spoilers, she saves him by handing over this head. But I believe she takes the info out of it. I can't remember what happens. But they have a cool fight. This would be amazing as a cartoon. And quite frankly, it almost looks like Forces of Destiny. But they don't really reveal what the info is. But she's like, I'm never going to get a thank you from Unkar Plot. But then he sends her a whole bunch of rations. Yay.
I'm excited about that DuckTales ad at the back.
Oh, yeah. It's I still have not watched it. But it was just 2 stories. There was like a story about a lady X-Wing pilot. It was kind of neat. The art's kind of cool, but nothing really happens. So anyways, that's it for comics. I'm sure comics came out today. I just not have time to go get, but we'll have some for next week.
Yeah, I'm still reading Phasma.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Actually, I can actually give you the digital download. I should just give you my sign-in. Anyways, Hollow News. Gotta reach down for another book.
Live from Coruscant.
Live. Okay. So our first story today is about a crazy dentist. Now, I hail from Niagara Falls, Niagara region in Ontario. For you that don't know where that is, basically Niagara Falls is in our area. And it's just called Niagara region. But our proximity to Niagara Falls also means our proximity to Buffalo, New York. And I believe they're out here as well. But growing up, I saw a lot of commercials from Buffalo. And,
oh, man.
Injury lawyers, Gambino, Gambino Ford. Lockport, Gambino and Ford, which is a car dealership in North Tonawanda. And Celino and Bart. So the point I bring this up is there's a dentist, I forget where, named J.S. Abernathy, that created a commercial by putting himself into A New Hope by the use of green screen. He made a video and it was about how he uses Pip's laser to get rid of to enter your root canals and take care of your teeth. He made this video. It's at currently 200,000 views, and it is insane. It's sort of to the level of one of those commercials I was referencing at the beginning on local television, and it's insane. You have to check it out. He just superimposes himself over Luke for a lot of things, but it's so funny because it's like he probably thought this was a good idea, but it's like your dad made up a joke. And it's so bizarre, but it's kind of well done for what it is. So anyways, check it out. I'm sure we'll throw up the YouTube whatever. Next story. John Boyega is happy that J.J. Abrams is coming back. Oh, what a surprise. Yeah, that's not hugely news, but like they're buddies, and people prior to Boyega saying this, a lot of, I forget who it was, Domhnall Gleeson said he was excited that JJ is returning,
even though he's not.
What? You heard it here first. But then also John Boyega chimed in saying, apparently tweeting at JJ is like, hey, or referencing an interview and saying, hey JJ, did you miss me that much? That's why you're coming back. they're bros. So anyways, the returning cast from A Force Awakens and soon to be Last Jedi will probably be very excited that JJ are all in agreement that the JJ is coming back. More importantly, Battlefront 2, the beta is out today. If you have a pre-order, if you pre-order the game, you can play now because it went live. The pre-order went live at 1 a.m., 4 a.m., blah, 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 whatever standard time. If you have the pre-order, you probably have already been told. But if you want to still get in on this, you can still join the open beta, which will start on Friday at 1 a.m. North American time. And this will go till Monday the 9th. So from now to then, it's like barely a week of testing out this beta. So that's very exciting. You can play it on PC, Mac, I believe PS4 and Xbox.
And if you pre-order before October 9th, you can get Yoda's lightsaber.
Oh, really?
I saw that on an ad. I thought I'd bring that up to you.
Oh, interesting. In the beta, you can play Galactic Assault, Starfighter Assault, Strike, and Arcade, which is cool. Also, though you might play all 4 or 5 days that it's up, however far you get level-wise won't translate over to the game once it's finally released, but you will receive a reward called the Founder's Crate, which will include several things probably, but most importantly, a Darth Maul emote. You gotta have that emote game up. And that's pretty well it. But yeah, check it out. I wish I had gotten on that, but I don't know if I have enough time to do that. So it's exciting, but big things for Battlefront. Next story, the British royalty has denied a lot of movies, but more to film on their property, but more importantly, Star Wars Force Awakens. It was denied, and it just released that they were denied, but they do allow some movies, like currently, what's it called? Goodbye, Christopher Robin, which stars General Hux himself, Domhnall Gleeson, as the author of Winnie the Pooh. They were allowed to shoot, but apparently it was just been released that they denied Star Wars a new Force Awakens to shoot because it's such a big deal. It's such a massive movie on a grand scale and creates such buzz that the whole park I think it's a park that's sort of off of Buckingham Palace or something like that. It's on royal grounds. That they were like, no, this is not going to be good for us, and like this is an important area. We do not want to ruin it. So that's why Star Wars was not allowed to be super duper royal. Oh well. And lastly, Tandy Newton, one of the actors in Han Solo that we were very excited to hear about. is apparently back on set, reshooting her parts now with Uncle Ronnie Howard. And Uncle Ron just kept going on and on about she took a break from shooting season 2 of Westworld to do all these reshoots. So that's really cool. So, like, that's a really good show to take a break and do this. I mean, Star Wars is big, but, you know, with Han Solo being in the state it is, it's got to say a lot that there's something in this project that's worth saving. So, she's back. This has been Hollow News.
Hollow News.
All Star Wars 24/7.
Great reading there, Brock.
Thanks.
I think you did a great job on the
rambling really fast so we can get through it.
You just took the last 2 segments and made them your own.
Yeah.
I didn't say a word. And I didn't even put it on Instagram this week.
Thank God. Top 5.
Top 5 standing by.
Top 5 standing by. I was thinking about, like, you should get Erin to make us music because she's a musician by...
Send her a text.
No, thank you. Girls scare me.
They do. He had these without...
Oh, I thought we were high-fiving.
No, I'm playing. You had these without the podcast.
Yeah, no, this is that was... I walk around with those.
In today's top 5, this is our first top 5 that isn't 100% Star Wars related.
Oh, what?
Because the Blade Runner sequel movie, directed by Denis Villeneuve.
Ooh.
I don't know how to say his name. He directed a movie in Mississauga. Enemy with Bubble Boy. What's his name? Bubble Boy is where I went with it.
Josh Duhamel.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh!
Bubble Boy, Donnie Darko. Yeah, that movie was shot here. Arrival was fantastic.
And Prisoners.
Prisoners
was a mind-F.
And Sicario.
Oh, that's right.
Like he hasn't had Enemy I haven't seen, but I haven't heard very good things with Enemy. But we'll give him a sophomore slump on that one.
I gotta remember his name because inevitably when we do top 5 directors that we want to do for like the Bib Fortuna movie,
it's Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah, he's really
from
France.
He's from Quebec.
Is he from Montreal?
No, he's from
from Sherburne?
Tres Rivers, Quebec.
Three Rivers, Quebec.
So I can't speak for my French is terrible. But I'm sure he speaks French and English very well. But he directs like a mofo.
Yeah.
That's just
his stuff is good. I really wanted to see Enemy, but I never got around to it.
Yeah, that's the only one I haven't seen. Apparently you can see the Monroe buildings. We have 2 buildings in the city that are spiral shaped. Apparently they're falling apart, but they're spiral shaped. They look cool.
Looks like Marilyn Monroe's body.
That's where they got the name of the Monroe buildings. Anyway, here we go. Top 5 because of Blade Runner. We're doing top 5 roles. Harrison Ford roles besides Han Solo. Yeah. Han Solo cannot be in this. Full disclosure on this one, I have never, ever once in my life seen Blade Runner.
What?
Right? So, his character is not on my list because I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
I'm super excited for the sequel. I'm probably going to watch. It's funny, for like the last 3 years, since I've had Apple TV, 4 years, 5 years, I've wanted to buy Blade Runner because it's like $5.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I should buy it, but I'm not going to watch it. Now I'm like, I need to just watch it.
My dad made me watch. Oh, my parents together and I watched it, and they're like, you got to watch this movie. And they both fell asleep halfway through. Because Blade Runner is a sci-fi movie, but it's an artsy sci-fi
Yeah,
movie.
That's why my parents want to be into it. My dad was like, Indiana Jones, spoiler.
Yeah.
And Star Wars and Die Hard.
And nothing else.
Star Trek and Die Hard.
Yeah. All right, so
here we go. My number 5. I'll go first. Get off my plane.
Oh,
it's gotta be the president. It's gotta be the president.
One thing I misread it. I thought I just had to put titles of movies, so I don't remember all the characters' names. Though I do know that's the president.
I don't know what his name is. I just know he's the president.
It's just strictly for that line. Get off my plane.
Oh yeah, I don't remember the rest of the movie.
Yeah, no. My number 5 is Ender's Game, one of his newer films.
Also have not seen that.
Oh, fantastic film. Very good book. I wish they could do more, but it was a great game. Or a great game. Great movie. It was a great Ender game. No, it was a good movie. I like it a lot. And he was a cool character. And a grizzled general. I forget what his name is.
And he was the president. He said, get off my game.
Ender, you have... I don't know. My number 4... American Graffiti, because I actually do like that film, and it's, it goes
Bob
in the vein.
Falfa. Bob,
that's it. It was like
huge Bob Falfa fan.
That it goes in the vein of like Dazed and Confused and Slacker, where just like people just hanging out,
George
living
Lucas,
their lives. And it's George Lucas.
He just wants to race, man. My number 4 is Jack Ryan.
Oh,
like 10 times. Clear and Present Danger. Okay. Jack Ryan.
Right.
I don't know. I can't remember it.
Yeah.
But he's in it.
I've never been a huge fan of any of those movies, though I've seen about probably half of them. I think. I saw them at relatively young ages, so I really couldn't appreciate it. I'm sure if I rewatched it now, but yeah, I was like, maybe I should put him in. Da, da, da.
It's just Harrison Ford's awesome. My number 3 is Apocalypse Now, Colonel Lucas.
Oh, yeah, he's in that movie. Yeah. My number 3 is Air Force One. Da, 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 in my Air Force One. Yeah. Get off my plane.
Get off my plane.
Give me my plane.
I hope he comes back. I hope in the Han Solo movie they get Alden Ehrenreich to say, "Get off my ship.
Get back my ship."
My number 3, Bob Falfa. No, this is number 2, right? My number 2, Bob Falfa from American Graffiti. Just, he wants to race, and then he crashes the car at the end. Yeah. That is one of the best. Richard Dreyfuss in that movie is phenomenal. Yeah, so is awesome Ron Howard.
Hey, Uncle Ron's in there.
Uncle Ron's in there. He's fantastic. Toad, what a great character Toad was. When Ron Howard gives Toad his car, and he's drives around. Oh man, they go and Richard Dreyfuss goes with the Pharaohs all night, and they're like, "Hey man, it's such a great. I love that movie. Yeah, love it."
My number 2 is Deckard from the Blade Runner, based on the Philip K. Dick. Do androids dream of electric sheep? They do. Spoiler. Yeah, like I said before,
they do.
You gotta give it big ups. No, you gotta give it big ups because it's like Blade Runner is a big deal, even though like there are parts of it that you could criticize. I actually, funny enough, I watched the. That's not really this funny, but I watched Honest Trailers of Blade Runner because they've been doing a thing where like now that we have all these reboots, they do the old one. And, you know, it's Blade Runner and it deserves respect, but at the same note, it's like, it is. There's points you're like, and then director's cut, there's a unicorn for some reason.
Really? I heard the final cut is the one to watch.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of it. So, look, I'm going to watch. I haven't watched the honest trailer because I haven't watched the movie. So, I don't really want to ruin necessarily.
I'm curious. You should go see it without watching the movie.
I thought of that too, yeah.
Because I know there's a few people I know that really are like gung-ho to see the movie but have not watched the original, and they said they were going to do it. So I think you should not watch it.
I did that with it.
Yeah.
I didn't know it. I thought Pennywise's name was it going into it for a while. You know? Yeah. So yeah, like
But like the Blade Runner 2049?
Sure.
2049 trailers are just cool, and like just the music in that. Like, for all we know, that music does not exist in the movie.
And this movie is 2 hours and 58 minutes, I think.
Oh, really?
This is the longest movie of the year.
Good Lord.
Yeah, it's really super. But apparently, critics are saying it's a masterpiece. So, we'll see. But Denis Villeneuve, he's such a talented director. Yeah. Number 1.
Do we say it at the same time?
Look, unless yours is when he was on Sesame Street, we're going to have different answers.
1, 2, 3.
Indiana Jones! Bad dates. I said horses. Not camels.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes? Again, like it's... I feel like with Harrison Ford, he's been in a lot of movies, but it's like, what are your favorite Harrison Ford movies? It's like, it's usually either Indiana Jones, Blade Runner, or Star Wars. Yeah. And then the preceding, the movies after that in your list are all those
Sabrina.
3 movies. Sabrina.
Sabrina, What Lies Beneath.
What's that movie with him and Anne Heche? 7 Days.
7 Days, 7 Nights. Age of Adeline.
42. I almost put 42 on. I like that movie, but like he's kind of not really a main.
Well, he's not really in American Graffiti. He kind of shows up halfway through and he's like, oh, tell him I'm looking for him.
Yeah. But American Graffiti is a good movie.
Such a good movie.
Yeah, so that's our top 5.
Yeah, it can't not be Indiana Jones.
Let us know what you think.
Here's a question. Would Indiana Jones top Han Solo for you?
No, Han Solo all the way. I get bored with Indiana Jones. Yeah, that's right. I've fallen asleep in every one, and as when I watch them as adults. That's right.
As Brock was saying before I cut him off, tell us what you guys think. What are your top 5 in below?
Honorable mention, Witness.
Like Harrison Ford, I'm getting frantic.
Regarding Henry.
That J.J. Abrams wrote that.
Oh, yeah.
Connections.
What? Uncle JJ. Anyways.
Uncle JJ.
This has been another Rebel Scum podcast.
The 60-second one Order 66 is coming soon. Oh, the Great Jedi Purge is on its way. I don't know what's going on. Don't get too excited about this one, guys. I think I'm in Vancouver for that one. So
cool.
I'm going there to hang out with Ryan Reynolds.
Ooh la la.
You're going there next
Van
week?
City Reynolds.
Where are you going next week?
I'll be in Winnipeg next week.
That's cold.
Gotta make that money.
Yeah, I believe Pablo Hidalgo's from Winnipeg.
Is he?
Do you want to IMDb this quickly?
Yes.
All right. IMDb.com. He's Chilean and Canadian.
Yeah.
Canadian.
Clearly. The name kind of gave it away. Pablo Hidalgo. I like that you went to IMDb.
Ah!
Why didn't you just Google his name?
Shh. No, because I don't know. Brock,
You should be in there.
I don't know how to use computers.
That's him. We walked past
He was
him.
born in Chile, so that was wrong. Was his parents from? One of them was from. Oh, see full bio.
Should have gone to Wikipedia.
Okay, Wikipedia.
This has been Searching the Net with James.
This is what we
and
should have
Brock.
done for What Up Star Wars. Here we go.
What up, Star Wars?
He's the author of. What happened?
Wikipedia should be in the first beginning. Yeah. Raised in Winnipeg, Canada.
Raised in
Wow.
Winnipeg. There you go.
It all connects.
So you should go see his.
There's a statue.
Yeah. Totally, there should be. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching. This is Brock. Where can they find you?
Here. No, BF Smink on Instagram and Twitter.
Follow me at Petsafina on Twitter, Instagram, and PS4 where you can get about at Battlefront 1. I don't have Battlefront 2 yet, but I will. And when I do, you will be able to destroy me because I am bad at video games, except for Yoshi's Story. All right, guys. That's all for this week. May the force of others be with you.
Okay, bye.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.